Hello OAS family, it is time for another book review, and we are slowly making our way through our book library. We have a pretty extensive book library, but we have been busy making these reviews, and we're getting through most of the titles in the book library so far. But we have an interesting title for you today. This one is called Painting Songbirds by Chien Hsing-chien. And before we get into the details of the book, we're going to talk about the general statistics. The book is 11 3/4 inches high by 8 1/4 inches wide. It has approximately 111 pages, and it has text in Chinese and English. So as the title implies, this is about Chinese bird painting, and specifically songbirds. I like a book focused on songbirds because songbirds are typically the most colorful, the most commonly seen, the most iconic birds, and the ones that pair most flexibly with different other subjects. So Chinese bird painting is part of flower and bird painting, so the two are not particularly distinct. They are really seen as together in traditional Chinese painting. So we will get into this book. So we have this title page here with this lovely pair of singing birds perched on this branch. I really love this composition. It is it has like a wonderful sense of chaos to it with these circular sort of branches, and then amidst that you have these two jewels of these birds, and they adorned with these flowers as well. So here is a preface, and then we have a section here that is kind of focused on the bird anatomy. So here we're talking about the details of the head, like beaks and eyes and crests. So, and then this collection of like different sort of iconic shapes for birds. And then we have this section here on various styles of wings and feathers, along with some line drawings about like typical poses in flight. And then here's a section on different kinds of tail feathers. And then this idea of the angle of the tail feathers versus whether or not they're sort of flared or retracted. And then this next section is on feet or talons. So here's another sketch section, more about like poses. So showing how the poses can vary, mostly by head position. So there are these very interesting sort of drawings here where they sort of depict the possible angles of the head given sort of the same body position. And then it just sort of details how the head can rotate, and with the you can choose the angle of the head to sort of determine the pose. Is an interesting idea here. And then here's a section on composition. So nice little 6-panel idea, you know, detailing a few different classic composition ideas. So really nice, useful thing to get you start thinking about how to compose these paintings. Some additional sections here, another dual 6-panel setup on more compositions. So here is a little section on stroke technique for rendering feathers. So this is like different styles to render feathers. So from long strokes to short strokes, side strokes, bold strokes, wet strokes, all different ways and styles for depicting the feathers. And then here is a section talking about wing and tail feathers. So we're starting to get focused on species here, and we have like, well, here's showing different postures of a bird, and then also like a sequential buildup of strokes about how they fill in the bird from the outline to greater levels of detail. And now we're getting into the species section here. So this is the great reed warbler. Little sequential buildup here, and then a final composition to use as an inspiration. And then the Rothschild myna. So we're going to follow this same format where we have like a sequential stroke buildup and then final composition. Very interesting bird with white feathers, so you can see the technique that's used here for rendering a bird with white feathers, and these very distinct shades of blue that you have here around the eye and for the feet. So the rufous-headed crown tit, or crow tit. Right. And then the white paradise flycatcher. Lots of very simple compositions here. So this is really one of the strengths of this book, is that it showcases these birds in very easy to replicate compositions. These are just very simple lychee plant idea with an extended branch and the bird, and you can see it's a very classic, simple composition that shows off the bird well, but isn't too overwhelming. So this is the red paradise flycatcher. This is a very nice pose here where you have this sort of curve of the bird and it's turning around, sort of looking to the right. Siberian ruby throat. And the rufous-bellied robin. Fire-tailed minla, shown with the iris. And then this is the sultan tit. Very interesting, paired with this very interesting sort of outline style bamboo. So it's nice here. The bird is done in kind of a not really, more of a boneless style for the bird. Not a lot of detail other than the crest and the beak. And then, but the bamboo, they have chosen to render in this outline style. So it's a little kind of juxtaposition of two different styles in one painting. And then this is the yellow checked tit. Blue swallow. Stone chat. This is the Chinese bulbul. And then the great tit. Here's the oriental goldfinch. Lots of character in this pose here, where that neck seems to be stretched upward, almost like trying to reach to peek over something. This is the black-capped kingfisher. So very interesting composition, very simple. You know, you can see just these couple crossed bamboo branches, and then this suggestion of these lily pads, and then these three fish. very much like the character of that bird, just there sitting, hunting those fish. And this is the cuckoo. And then the redpoll. And then the composition of the white wagtail. The snowfinch. Interesting coloration for a bird. It's almost like a bald eagle kind of colorations with a white head. And here's that sort of classic kingfisher. This is the first bird that I see sort of using more of like a gongbi style. So you can see more detail here in the line work. More detail in the line work and sort of shaded in kind of this gongbi style. And then this is the silky starling. Very energetic pose here where it's cleaning itself. And then the greenfinch. So I'm not a bird person. So, you know, I suspect there might be some misidentification of species here, but I am sort of reading to you the species as they are listed in the book. So this is also a greenfinch. And then this is the crested myna. And then the hawfinch. This is haw may. And then this is a balk-naped oriole. Very striking yellow color chosen here. Very handsome set against the black details. And this is a grackle. And then black-necked babbler. This is one that I specifically looked up, and I think that I could not find a black-necked babbler that actually looked like that, because there's actually no black neck on this bird. So I don't know if you can identify this bird by the look. If you're a bird person, you know, leave us a comment in the comments and give us some insight as to what the correct species identification for that bird might be. This is the blue magpie. And so now we get a little bit more into sort of technique styles where they're talking about depicting the birds in flight. So this is this bird that is approaching a place where it will crest, and you can see that it is in flight. And this painting is called Chasing. And then two different poses in flight here, and this painting is called Echo. And then two different compositions featuring groups of birds in flight. Here's a trio paired with these fall-colored trees. And then here is a group of 5. Actually 6, group of 6. So then talking about the spontaneous style. So this looser, more abstract style where the focus is more on capturing the spirit of the animal. So you can see some really delightful, you get a sense of the artist's style in these looser paintings. This painting is called Rejoice here on the left-hand side, and then this one on the right-hand side with the lotus is called Aroma. And springtime on the left and a little rest on the right. We have a bird featured with a pine tree. And then very adorable character piece here with all of these sort of birds perched at rest. This one is called Springtime, and then on the right-hand side, it's called Solo. So Motherhood here on the left, and then Companion here on the right, and then Guardian here on the left, and then Dew here on the right. So that is the book. So that is Painting Songbirds by Chien Hsing-chien, and you can see it's a nice mix of you know, instruction and final compositions for inspiration, and it does have, you know, a lot of general techniques and tips about Chinese bird painting. So we have limited copies of this available, so if you're interested in this book, make sure you get a copy before we are sold out. You can purchase it at our website at orientalartsupply.com, and as always, we wish you happy painting.